Yeah, so which is the topic of tonight's talk. Parshas Vayera opens up with Avram Avinu recovering from bris milah. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu, comes to you v'akras achole. So it says Vu Yoshev Ksiv. He was sitting Bikesh La'amod, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu says no, Shev Vani Omed V'ata Simen Lebanecha. That's for the Dayanim. Kim Nitzav Badaskel. He stands amongst the Dayanim, and the Dayanim sit. Right? Why do you want to remiss for the Dayanos at this time? He's recovering from bris milah. That's our first question. Question number 2. Right? So 3 angels come. Right? Michal, Gabriel, and Raphael. And Rashi explains because a machal says which means, by the way, just not that he can't do literally 2 things. He can't do different types of things. Because Rashi says Mefurish, Raphael that healed Avram, later saved Lot, but it's because it's the same type of shlichus, saving people. Right? It means that every malach does a certain type of thing. Okay, yafeh. So Michal levaser Sarah. Gabriel lahafach estom, right, to cream stone, and Raphael rapos Avram, and he subsequently went to stone to save Lot. Great. What was Gabriel doing there? What was Gabriel doing by Avram Avinu? He was going lahafach estom. Why did he go to Avram Avinu? No, that was Michal.
So he could pray.
Raphael went for 2 reasons.
Yeah, we went to Avram for the reason why to heal Avram. Then after we went to Stone, he was 2 out of 3 went to Stone. So Raphael went to Stone to save Lot. Fine, okay. Michal, no, wasn't needed in Stone. He went back to Shammai. Now he was there levaser asara, right? Now Gabriel, his whole function was lahafoch es stone. What did he go to Avram Avinu for? He should have hooked up with Raphael in Stone. What was he doing by Avram Avinu? Why was he there? Right?
Because Lot was there. We had to give him a chance to figure out to go save him.
You think Gabriel told Avram that he's going to cream stone? The Pasuk Rashi HaKadosh Baruch Hu revealed that to Avram Avinu. Hashem Amar Machas Anim Avram. So, I'm going with the Pshuta Shemikah that Gabriel was there silent. He hung out there because Michal did the talking, right? And Raphael did the refuah, right? So what was Gabriel doing by Avram Avinu? Okay? Right? So then HaKadosh Baruch Hu reveals to Avram Avinu, he's creaming stone. So like Rashi says over there, Rashi says it was Avram Avinu set up court. There was a kategar and a sanegar, and Avram Avinu used the lashon, in his always the shame adnus, which is a shame of din. It's one of the shemos of din. It's a shame of malchus, dina de malchus dina. He didn't invoke the midas harachamim, and as soon as Avram Avinu didn't have any more tinus, right? So Avram, holach, the stalika, like Rashi says, the stalika sanegar, the stalika, the court was, adjourn because Avram Avinu had no more tinus. What? Start just being, rachamim. The whole thing was in a tzura of mishpat with the shem adnos, which is a shame of din, with tinus, argumentation, and as soon as Avram Avinu had nothing more to say, we say, use the shem avaya. The whole thing was done in the tzura of court. And then that's Avram Avinu's whole argument, hashofet kol ha'aretz lo yasir. Avinu was coming to argue that it wouldn't be mishpat. Ditch mishpat. Rachamim. You want to save people, right? So ditch mishpat. No, it was all b'derech mishpat. Right? As a chalila, double lashon, chalilacha ba'olam hazeh, chalila l'olam haba. What's chalila l'olam haba? That's not there. That's what Rashi says.
What's the context of that? Did they do?
Right.
So
they were omed with their wrists.
Okay.
They never rescued.
Okay, you're 100% right. We're going to say even, I'm going to add to that. Is that narcotics? What is that?
No. Trying to.
Okay. Anyway, that's all on tape. Anyway, right. So now, interestingly enough,
could be that Avram didn't want to save Sodom if it was Alter Rachamim. He only wanted to save it only if it was Mitzad Mishpat.
Okay, but why? So let's say
so the riches of that people were not endure.
If there was tzaddikim, it would be mishpat, not
No, so he argued if there may be this amount of tzayim, and once he saw that it won't work based on the Mabul precedent, he gave up. He gave up. Avinu ran out of things to say. Beg for mercy, Stam. Why the whole thing? And like Rashi says, there was a kategor and a sanegor. He set up court. Why court? You want to save people? Just beg for mercy, right? The whole thing was Haftis Bet Tzadik in Russia. The whole thing was he was arguing. It was law. It was law. That's very interesting. So now, further, you get to the Malachim reach Stone and Lot Yoshev B'Shara Ir. What does Rashi say over there? Yoshav Ksiv, almost the same just by Avraham Avinu. That day they made him a shofet. So you see the concept of mishpat from the beginning of the parsha. After similar banecha, that there'll be that the dayanim sit and I stand. All the way through that Lot that day was appointed a shofet, and that's what they say. Aish balagur vayishpot shofet. You just came here, and now you're meeting out the law. As I guess that like the anti-Trump that charata on the appointment, right? Right. Yeah, right. Right. All these mishpat. So we'll be magdim that everyone knows, from based on the midrashim, that Stone had a justice system, albeit a sick one, but they had a justice system, right? They had dayanim, and one of their rules was chesed is punishable by death. Hakitzakasa ba'elai, that one woman gave something to an ani, and they mamish covered her in honey, that the bee stung her to death, and that was hakitzakasa. That was the final cry that Kodesh said, I'm taking this place off the map. Strict midas adin. Right? Strict midas adin. So the truth is, what I heard from Rav Nachman Bowman, Zechron Livracha, and then what I saw in Sfarim, you have to get into Stone's head a little bit. Where that was covered. Like it wasn't that they were stingy. They set up a whole system of justice that actually protected monopolies. They had antitrust laws. That one of the Chazals, if a guy's parnasa was ferrying you across the river, if you swam the river yourself, you had to pay double. Because you're doing him out of his parnasa. It's if it's gezel. Right? It's mamash. It was gezel. Like you have to pay kefil. Because you cheat him out of his parnasa. How did your father, Zechron Baruch, say? He has to make a leben oich. Yeah. So because you swam the river, you have to pay double. Kefil. It's interesting. Get into their head a little bit.
Like you didn't take the raft, that's the whole thing?
Yeah, because you didn't use his services. Now, the truth is, going back last week's parsha, let's just answer all the questions we can answer with this. The hanhoka of when Avraham Avinu met Stone earlier in life, X amount of years earlier, right, when he liberated Lot. So there's an interesting exchange between Avraham Avinu and Melech Stone. So Melech Stone says, "Ten li nefesh v'rachush kachlach." Right, just give me the people. You could take the all the chattel. Right. So the Avraham Avinu says, "I'm not taking a penny, nothing." Imichut v'atzroch now. Both of them are acting peculiar. Melech Stone, for sure, being peculiar. You don't have the right to set conditions. By international law, you're Avraham Avinu's slave. You were conquered by. There's a din of kibush. That's how we were allowed to take the land of Ammon and Moab. It was nitaru b'sichon v'og because they captured it. And once there's kibush, so once we captured from them, so now Ammon and Moab don't have a taina anymore. Okay, do it like we know from the Chumash, like happened later in Nach. That's they had this exchange with Melech Ammon that once Sichon captured it, it wasn't us for us to take your land. Right? There's a din of kibush in international law. Right? So Stone was captured by the four kings. Right? Avraham Avinu liberated them, captured them. He's Avraham Avinu's slave. He's not in a position to say, Ten li'ad nefesh v'rachush kachlach. Right? Question number one. But question number two is like this. Right? Avraham Avinu has got no problem taking gifts. He does not have that problem. He seemingly ain't no soneh matonos yichya. Seemingly, I'm being sarcastic. Right? Because he took a lot from Paro. And he took a lot from Avimelech. He took a lot from Sarah may have worked hard, but for him it was just passive income, right? And over here he worked hard. Went to battle.
Noach just gave it to him, right?
Yeah, but Paro also gave him a lot of money,
They both gave it to him. They didn't say. They didn't start telling him like it was theirs.
Oh.
They give him a favor.
Right. Very good. Very good. Right? Avram Avinu got into his head and understood that in this man's mind, what's yours is be'etzem yours. Right? It's like your money is inalienably yours. Right? Right? Like they viewed like money is like ashes ish. You can't give your wife away. You're married. Right? They viewed like it was like ashes ish. Inalienably yours. Right? Mamish, whatever you own is you and it are one. It is, it's not shaykh to be taken away from you. It's like an extension of you. Right? And that's why they protected monopolies. This is, if I have a monopoly on, that's be'etzem mine. And if you find a way of outsmarting me, you have to pay me kefil midin gezel. If you have a way of like swimming the river yourself. They had this idea that what belongs to a person is be'etzem his. Right? Right? And he says that's what the stone was coming from. Like, I'll be nice to you, let you take the money. He says, no, I'm not going to accept it. V'lo tomar nishar, you always say it's your money in my pockets. When Paro gave, he gave betovas ayin. When Avimelech gave, he gave betovas ayin. They gave it belev sholim. But no, v'lo tomar ani esharti es Avram, you're always going to say, I'm rich with your money in my pockets. I don't want that. Right? But yeah, you have to get into where they're coming from. They looked at the history of the world, and they saw Dor HaMabul, and they saw Dor HaFlaga. Right? And they were trying to figure out what they have to do to endure and to survive. Right? That they shouldn't collapse like the civilizations before them. Dor HaMabul was Hefker. Timlar Schomas, they had no boundaries, so just like with Gila, right? There were boundaries. Also, they took your money. Right. Right. So they saw that in Dor HaMabul, it was hispashtus beligvul. Right? So they saw that doesn't work. Right? HaKadosh will destroy them. Then they watched the Dor HaFlaga. Everything for the state. Right? Everything for the state. Nasil Rushem, and they, like we spoke about this a little bit last week, everything, converges, and everything is for the sake of Nasil Rushem, right? So the people didn't expand, people Adrabah converged, right? It's a hit kavtzut. The opposite, that also didn't work out. So they came up with an idea like this. We have to leave exactly everything where it is. Not to expand and not to contract. All the koichas, everything should stay exactly where it is. Because when you let things leave their boundaries, it ruins the cosmic balance. And that's why chesed was punishable by death. Because they thought you were destroying the world. Because you're ruining the cosmic balance. Because you're taking something out of its gvul and it's going to the gvul of somewhere else. There has to be an exact, very fair business exchange. And that way the cosmic balance is maintained. So because you can't chesed, you move too much to the other side of the scale goes down. Right? You're ruining the cosmic balance, you're going to be machri of the world.
Liberalism.
What?
Destroys the world.
Right. Exactly. So that's what it says. Shali shachashcha zu yesh omrim zu mudesto.
And you see, when you go to an extreme in chesed, it also could destroy the world.
Right.
That was Dor HaMabul, basically.
Basically.
What you're doing is taking everybody's property.
Because you don't respect any boundaries.
The Hasidah is
Right
trade.
to property.
Right.
Right, so liberty is
The
the
Bible was a conscious and
Right.
and
So
only conscious.
right. So
Conscious
that.
and conscious, two different.
Right.
So where does capitalism fall under?
All right.
It's a different
So,
question.
okay, we'll get to that.
That's
Right.
the
So,
Bible, it's a capitalist.
all right. So we're going to talk about the correct. So there's the thing I say, kept strict din. Strict din. Right? And there has to be like a very fair trade. Otherwise, you're ruining the cosmic
Law and order.
balance.
It's called law and order. And the other one's called liberalism.
Right.
This is law and order. It's done with
Right.
law and order.
Right? But law and order to an
Extreme law.
extreme. Right? Without any chesed.
That's why he's Mishpah.
Right? Exactly. Very good. Right? Racham, chesed and rachamim destroy the world. It disrupts the cosmic balance. We have to leave every koch by where it is. Everything has to be in its gvul. And you're only allowed to do business if it'll be a fair trade. And then the cosmic balance is maintained. Because you move a weight from this side, you have to move the same weight to the opposite side, and then the balance is maintained. That's where they were coming from, right? Mama shali, shocha, right? And then and to tip it to shali, shocha, shali, right? That ruins the cosmic balance, whether it's so. All right, and that's where they're coming from. Strict din, and in that strict din, any person's kinyan is be'etzem his, and there's no undoing that. Right, it ruins the cosmic balance. Right, that's what that was their headspace. Right. So first of all, with this we answer already the first question. Avraham Avinu was a self-appointed shliach tzibur for Stone. Right, the shliach can't be any bigger than the mishalech. Right? If the Mishalech doesn't believe in Chesed and Rachamim, right? Your Shliach Tzibur can't be any bigger. He's not empowered to argue Nekudas that you yourself don't believe in. So Avraham Avinu couldn't defend Stone, Mitzad Chesed and Rachamim, because they didn't believe in it. But what does Avraham Avinu want to do? Right? And this all has to do with Leidas Yitzchak, which is the other theme in the parasha. Right? Because law and order is a necessity. And law and order is not anti-chesed. Because like the Ramchal articulates so well, the Yesod that's in Judaism, but the Ramchal is one who just articulates so well, HaKadosh Baruch Hu created with a Ratzon Lehetiv. A Ratzon Lehetiv. He just wants to bestow goodness upon us. Right? That's all he wants to do. But he saw that it wouldn't be a hatava shlema if it would be b'derech chesed and tzedakah. It would be nahama de kisufa. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu made us earn it. But the earning of it is just to make it even better, that it's more geschmack. Because you're proud of what you did, and you could face the Shechina upon him, not like a person who's makabel tzedakah, that you're afraid to look the Shechina in the face if you're the beneficiary and you didn't earn it. Right, so it comes out that the Ratzon Lehetiv spawned the Midas Hadin, and the Midas Hadin is coming to complete the Ratzon Lehetiv. Right? And that's what it means. HaKadosh was a Ratzon Lehetiv, and then that which says Chazal, Ol Machshava Bros Midas Hadin is step 2. Because first there's a Ratzon Lehetiv. Ratzon is even above Machshava. It's more elemental than Machshava. Then Ol B'Machshava Li Bros Midas Hadin. Right? And then after that, Rosh Hashanah Shil Midas Rachmim Ubra'ah. Right, you have to still add flexibility, and the adding of flexibility is actually faithful. It's not anti-din, because din itself came from the Ratzon Lehetiv. Right?
Yeah, but so how does this work? I thought
and then now,
the ideal is the din, though.
It's the ideal because it's the highest hatava.
So how can you say Stone was just trying to replicate that?
What? No, because they wanted din, without the Ratzon Lehetiv, and without the Shita Midas Rachamim. Pure din. Pure din. Not recognizing that din is an extension of the Ratzon Lehetiv. Because it has to be that way. Din doesn't initiate anything. Because din is reactive. Whatever, mida keneged mida. Whatever you do, I'm going to give you a mida keneged mida. Right? To create the world, you need chesed. Because there's no world to earn its existence yet. So it has to be Zachor Rachamecha Hashem V'chasadecha Ki Me'olam Hema. The Chesed Rachim came even before the world was here. Because Chesed initiates. But like we said many times, Chesed, there's no commitment in Chesed. If you do a guy a favor for 20 years and then you say you're not doing it anymore, he can't have a time on you because there's always a Chesed. Din, even if you just pay him a shava pruta for that service, he's obligated. Otherwise he's liable for breach of contract. Right? HaKadosh Baruch Hu did the Midas Din to give our existence firmness and ongoingness and to make it a hatava shlema. Right? And that's why Avraham Avinu, who's Kulo Chesed, Avraham Avinu is like restarting the world. It was Alpayim Tohu, and the Alpayim Torah starts from Avraham Avinu. Avraham Avinu is like restarting the world, right? And that's why Avraham Avinu's Midah is Chesed, connected to Ratzon Lehetiv. But from Chesed it goes to Yitzchak, from the Ratzon Lehetiv to the Midas Hadin, which gives it firmness. And that's why Avraham Avinu didn't want Eliezer. He didn't want Eliezer. He wanted Yitzchak Avinu. Yitzchak Avinu, he needed the Midas Hadin, the Midah of Gvura, to make his legacy endure. I can't trust Eliezer. What will keep this legacy firm and enduring is the Midah of Gvura, right? But the Midah of Gvura is an extension of the Ratzon Lehetiv, right? To give it kvias, that should be that whatever we get shouldn't be banahama de kisufa. So, and that's the mishpat of the Torah. The mishpat of the Torah is the opportunity to earn and to make the chesed even bigger. That now you could have a relationship with the Shechina that you couldn't have if it would all be derech tzedakah and not earned. You wouldn't be a bar hachi to look the Shechina in the face if you didn't have the opportunity to earn and to be zeicha. To be zeicha. But we have a lot of dinim, dinei lulav, to give us more schus, and the schus makes us more worthy. Bigger b'nei olam haba, bigger dveikus in the Shechina, right? And that's what's happening with Leidas Yitzchak, is that the midas of din Torah is coming into the world, right? And that's what gives firmness and a completion to the Ratzon Lehetiv. It's better for us, and it also makes what HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives us, that he has to be committed to it, because there is din, and we earn it, so he has to be committed. He can't just, in chesed only, if a person's volunteering, he could quit on you any time, and you can't have a time on him. Once din is involved, it makes it kavua, it makes us lanetzach, and that's what ensures olam haba, right? Because now he owes it to us, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants to put us in a situation that he should owe us, and that way we could also look the Shechina in the face, and we could also be zeicha, have the end of schus. If there's only chesed without din, there's no such thing as being a zeicha, to be a zakai, to be a zocha, to be have called the yushtaid, and you're on a higher madrega, right? And that's what's going on. That's what Yitzchak Avinu is, and Yitzchak Avinu and Stom are good twin and evil twin. And that's what's going on in this week's parsha. That as Yitzchak Avinu is born, God, the midas hadin comes into the world, right? As if it was meant to be born, it's destined to be born. On that day, they made Lot a shofet. It's mamish midas hadin in the Torah way versus midas hadin in the way the liberals think of midas hadin. That's a terrible, destructive force. Law and order is such a terrible thing, so unpleasant. Avraham Avinu is arguing, Ribbon Shalom, don't let anyone think that Stone was right. Let's show them that real mishpat just gives a tosefet, law and order, but not against rachamim, because Adarabah call merachim al achzorim, sof al achzor rachmanim. We can't let the people think. There's an issue of message, of chilul Hashem. Chalil lecha, hashofet kol haaretz lo yaseh mishpat. There could be a chilul Hashem. People will think that midas hamishpat is a destructive thing, right? And people will think that Stone ideologically was right. If you have to show that midas hamishpat is there for our benefit, right? As a completion and a hashlama on the ratzon lehetiv, right? That's what it means. Chalil lecha olam haba. Right, even because in Olam Haba, our schus to face the Shechina, which is the final fruition of the Ratzon Lehetiv. The Ratzon Lehetiv was to give us Olam Haba, and Olam Haba we faced the Shechina upon him because that we were Zocha Bedin, right? Which you wouldn't be able to do. You wouldn't be able to face the Shechina in the face if you wouldn't be Zocha to it. So Chilul Olam Haba, because that's the whole point, that the Midas Hadin was there to make the Shlema, the Ratzon Lehetiv a Hatava Shlema. Can't let Stone think they were right. But by the way, this also explains. The Dora Mabul was destroyed by water. The Dora stone was destroyed by fire, right? Because water, we're taught in Kabbalah, water is a bria that comes from Midas HaChesed. They took Chesed to an extreme, that there were no boundaries, right? Stone took Midas Hadin to an extreme. And we're taught that fire is a nivra that comes from Midas Hadin. Each one got Mida Keneged Mida. They went too far with Chesed, so they got swamped with water. They went too far within, so they got hit by fire. Each one, Mida Keneged Mida. Avraham Avinu's message is, let's teach them what the real Midas HaMishpat is all about. Right? What the Republican Party is doing now for this nation, it's the message we got to get out. The liberals have, give a bad name to the Midas Hadin. Law and order is a bad thing. And you're going to deport all these terrible... You're going to be cruel to all these criminals, all these illegals, right, that are ruining our country. How can you be so cruel, right? I mean, so, et cetera, et cetera. That's what we're up against, right? We're up against, the verastichli b'mishpat b'chesed u'verachamim. In the bracha v'shiva shovtenu, we want, right, umlocha tashem levadcha. The chesed of rachamim, the mishpat leads is not a steer to chesed and rachamim. The mishpat, the melchet tzedakah mishpat, the mishpat is there that because he loves us and because he wants to be mative to us. Because of that, he gave us the midas hamishpat. Right? It comes from love, and it's to be mashu that a world without mishpat, there's nothing worse. Rosh Shiva Zechron Vracha, Yaakov Arm used to say, you want to destroy a child. You want to mamish destroy a child, right? Ruin him, right? In a way, you want to destroy your own kid, just ignore him and let him do whatever he wants, right? Right? You reward him, you punish him, even punishment, that's for it, a response, right? And there's a connection. You just want to let him do whatever, ignore him, that's what will destroy him totally. And that the Ramchal writes, the worst punishment HaKadosh will give us is that there should be no mishpat in the world. That is the worst dinim. There should be no mishpat. And the tikkun ha'olam is with the mishpat, right? Tzion b'mishpat tiparin. That's what all things, when it finally, shiftu yosam, riva amana, when there's mishpat in the world, that's tikkun ha'olam, and that's an extension of the Ratzon Leitiv. It's the big lie of Stone, or the big misperception of Stone, which is the big lie of the liberals, as if midas ha'mishpat is anti-chesed. The message of this week's parsha is, as Yitzchak Avinu is bringing the midas hadin into the world, adding that regal to the Merkava, you should know that this Midas HaMishpat is an extension. Besod Avram Holy Yitzchak, it's an extension of the Midas HaChesed. It's coming to be mashlim because Chesed alone is incomplete. And it's not a Hatava Shlema until you add to it the Midah of Din Torah. There's a concept.